etc. Then you look at the Pentagon site and you go, oh my gosh, it is the same thing.
From the magnetometer data, the spikes in that.
The planes didn't do it.
Magnetic electrogravitic nuclear reaction. Magnetic electrogravitic nuclear reaction.
He produces effects such as the jellification of metal turning to jelly, with almost little or no heat, or even cooling down in that process.
It was this blast of warm air. It wasn't hot.
And we've got a number of other supporting pieces of evidence, like, for example, Edna Sintron, who's one of the people that was standing in the hole, and she's holding onto this steel beam literally within an hour of when the hole came. So that means it can't have been hot.
If the fire was so intense and stuff like that, where this plane crashed supposedly, how people could be standing right in that hole?
Well, that's where they were. They were there because there was no other place to go. Well, listen, this photo speaks for itself.
They took a rat tail file, put it between two wooden boards, put it in there. It lit up just like, remember the old incandescent light bulbs? Sure. You have a wire across there, and just like that, it lights up. Got to the point the whole file, which is as big as my finger, just lit up and broke apart.
Split in two.
The interesting piece was, this had been white hot. They reached in and picked it up, and it was cold. They reached in and picked it up, and it was cold. It was cold. It was cold. It was cold. It was cold.
What is it hot? It's cold. Damn cold.
He was using what are called electrostatic fields. And he interacts that with magnetic fields.
There's a fluctuation in the magnetometer data.
That's another thing which people don't really want to talk about.
We have spikes at 1003 as well as the 1006 seismic readings.
And microwaves from microwave generators.
The active denial system, which DARPA and a few other military subsidiaries these companies have been working at, is something that's been around for a long time.
Active denial technology and future solid-state active denial technology system will produce a focused beam of directed energy to provide our troops a non-lethal option to stop, deter, and turn back suspicious individuals.
From RF generators, radio frequency generators.
Uses radio frequency millimeter waves at a frequency of 95 gigahertz.
It only penetrates 1/64 of an inch of your skin. Goes very shallow into where your nerve receptors are.
Most described it as feeling like a hot oven or grill being opened up.
Once you learn the effects of microwaves, you cannot ignore the behavior of the jumpers.
They want to live. They're hanging on to the building. This guy's hanging from one hand and 1 foot, taking his pants off. This guy has his shirt off. If the fire sprinklers came on, I'd be wet.
And sprinkler systems that were activated.
Good chance that their clothing was wet.
There was actually water running down the stairs with us. The pipes, I guess, burst.
Now, why would they want to take off wet clothing?
The electromagnetic radiation released by the active denial system is similar to the microwaves in your microwave oven, in that it causes the water molecules in the target to become excited and heat up.
Microwave is many times worse for wet clothing.
So we have evidence of microwave effects in New York City. Now, here's some images from the Pentagon. Warning, these are quite graphic. Now, when Mark Conlon sent me these pictures, it immediately took me back to a documentary I saw not too long ago. It's called Star Wars in Iraq. There were victims that seemed to have their skin burnt, but their clothing was completely untouched.
Mutilations that not even doctors can explain.
Even paper still in their pocket. Despite this, their flesh was completely toasted. If you watch this documentary and make some comparisons, I think you'll agree with me. The victims at the Pentagon look the same, unburnt clothes. If you ask me, this is evidence of microwave technology. These are toasted people.
I dragged the guy out, his skin was hanging off.
His skin was hanging off.
Let's not forget the toasted cars that were found in New York City. These toasted cars were also spotted at the Pentagon. If you look closely, you can see rusting. Looks like more evidence of transmutation. And how about that roof? This damage isn't consistent with an airplane or a missile. So what did create all the damage on 9/11 if not airplanes? Finding out the true cause of the airplane-shaped holes is important, as there's been many attempts to try to cover it up.